reserving these really special pieces because that's the Cottage Farms difference. They're going to get you varieties of plants that, you know, not only are exclusive to them, but you're not going to be able to find in your local nursery. And we've got the guarantee, of course. And kicking off the show, we have something very special. Finally, we have the 3-piece Red Riding Hood Penstemon collection that sold out last April. So if you missed them, I want to encourage you to get to the phones now because these are our first quantities of the season. $34, 3 different colors.
And I love these because these are rich colors. This is one of the toughest perennials that you can get.
Oh, that's great.
Got all the tubular shaped flowers, which means the hummingbirds will be all over this. But I love the rich colors. These are the colors that you see in hyacinths.
Oh, nice.
Think about it.
Yes.
You see hyacinths this color. That's only in spring. So we've got some rich saturated color to bring the spring colors into summer. It's a great bridge plant for your garden. And these will also take drought. They'll take the coldest areas. If you've had perennials die because you had a bad winter, this is not going to be one of them that's going to quit on you. You get 2 each of these. Is this right?
Yeah, yes.
No, you get three of these. Three of these. You get one of these. You get the pink one right here. You get the beautiful blue one right here, and you get the deep red one right here. But great cut flowers. I had mine in high canopy shade, and it was beautiful there. The hummingbirds came. It's got gorgeous foliage, and we had the really bad winter last winter. Remember?
Yes,
it was worse than this.
Terrible.
And a lot of things didn't make it for me. These came back, and it gave me something that I never had before.
Well, and it's such an insurance policy, too. You know, especially living in cold weather climates, you never really know what's going to happen. And with these brilliant colors, I think for me, the biggest thing is, you're right, this is spring colors all the way through summer.
All the way through. And it goes with beautiful things. We put the show together today for like a color coordinated show.
Yeah.
And we'll show a big view because we got something else coming up that you might want to plant these at the base of the clematis collection that we've got coming on. We'll show you that in a moment. But we'll go through the different varieties and you can see Red Riding Hood. You know that the hummingbirds come to that because it's red. They will also go to the other ones, but that is the one that waves the flag and says, here we are, here we are.
Oh,
hummingbirds come, cut flowers. If you have them planted under, underneath trees, you've got a lot of roots, which means it sometimes gets dry there from the root competition. These will still work fine there. Some things you have to water all the time. These are not those plants.
And I love the height on this too, because to me they stand alone. You don't have to worry about them tipping over as well.
2 to 3 feet tall.
Wow.
You get each one of these. It's not a choice of. You get all 3 of these varieties in the collection. And if you're not familiar with Penstemons, we talked about muddy colors. Penstemons often came in the muddy colors. These are the rich, saturated colors. And now we've got a big view. You can see the clematis vines behind me. We've got these. Imagine these growing on a trellis behind your Penstemons. Wow. It's just a great, great look. I'm doing a little designing for you. This is what I do all the time.
I love this. A little personal designing session from Philip Watson himself. And I love the brilliant colors too, because this is something that, you know, when you start going to host the outdoor barbecues or having people over, having, you know, that kind of magic essence, this is a great way to start that, because I think the first question anybody asks is, how do you get that color in, say, August? But what's really nice about the way that you guys ship them, they're already plants when they arrive to your door. But talk to us about how we should spread these out, how high they get, and if they need a lot of water or don't.
I planted mine 2 feet apart because I like them to be nice rounded clumps, and this is the way they come to you. They'll be labeled so you know exactly which one is which. And if you picked up, say, in an earlier show, the Shasta daisies, they're gorgeous with this. We've also got the petunias coming up, which will be pretty with this as well.
Oh, nice.
But buds are coming all the time on this, the tubular shaped flowers, the beautiful foliage.
And a lot of flowers on that. I mean, I look at these stems and they're about a foot in length, you know, already that. And I'm thinking, what a beautiful display that would be. Because sometimes I feel like I always take for granted in the garden that you could actually clip your flowers and bring them inside. Because you're like, they're so beautiful. But when you have this much lushness and the beautiful color, I mean, this on its own stands as like a floral display.
Well, I tell you what, I just love the rich colors. You see the regular colors in the nursery, and that's what this show is about. We're having rich, unique colors in this show. If you want just run-of-the-mill stuff, good Lord, there's plenty of that out there.
Go somewhere else.
Yeah, go somewhere else, and there are plenty of places you can go. But this is just about the only place that you're going to find unique plants that are easy to take care of, that are unconditionally guaranteed. These are perennials. They come back every year in every part of the country, and they're guaranteed for a full year. You don't have to save a receipt. We got you covered.
And that's the Cottage Farms difference. I mean, you would never walk into your local nursery and say, what's your guarantee on it? Can I come back next year if it doesn't work out? Absolutely not.
And you're talking to seasonal help.
Yes, I have no
So
clue
there is
on
that.
what a Penstemon might be or what direction to point you, but you are getting a 3-piece collection of of course, the Red Riding Hood Penstemon collection that sold out last April. So if you missed it, because that's, you have to realize when you're talking about plants, there's only a finite amount to go around.
Right.
You can only have so many. We brought it back, of course, for the season. Our first quantities have now just arrived to be shipped out. I can't promise again with any of the quantities that we have in the show that if they sell out, if they go away, we'll get them back in time for your delivery date. But if you're someone that, needs to have an investment garden, I mean, you need to have plants, whether it's a mild winter or if it's a harsh winter that can stand the test of time. Did you ever imagine that you could have flowers that look like this, that could be able to hold up to those extreme winters, yet when it's a mild winter, look just as beautiful?
Just beautiful. And see how it's planted alongside this pathway? Notice how the foliage goes all the way to the ground. At 2 to 3 feet tall, normally you would think, I've got to push that back because it's going to be leggy looking.
Right.
The foliage goes all the way to the ground. It's never leggy looking. Salvias, which have a similar habit, always look leggy. They lose the foliage on the bottom. This maintains the foliage on the bottom, and also it maintains a rosette of evergreen foliage in the wintertime.
Oh,
You'll know
that's
where it
great.
is all winter long, so you don't accidentally dig into it. And all the varieties you're going to get, that beautiful pink one, the gorgeous blue, and that intense red one, guaranteed to be special in your garden. They come back every single year, and you'll get a growing guide.
Oh, that's even, okay,
that
so
tells
this
you
is wonderful.
all about the Penstemons, and this is what I do. I have a little box, and I even do this. I keep my growing guides in the box underneath the cabinet where I keep all of my fertilizers too. We're going to talk about the fertilizers later in the show, but Bud and Flower Booster, our general one, is the one you'd use for these. Healthy plants need to be fertilized.
Yes,
so
you take your multivitamin, the plants need those multivitamins and nutrients with the fertilizer. But I just want to remind you, this is our first quantities of the season of this incredible Penstemon collection. And it's funny, one of the things that I noticed immediately with the foliage down at the bottom, I said, that reminds me of the daisies. And the first question, of course, I asked Philip is like, can we do a row of daisies in front of them? Because those only get about a foot tall.
Right.
So with these standing, what, almost 2 feet high?
Yes, exactly. What you do is you can alternate them, which is great, or do the Shasta daisies right in the front, or the petunias that we've got coming up.
Oh,
but
love that.
This is a great display of what you can expect, a great representation of what you're going to have in your garden for years and years to come. Very long-lived perennials. You know how daylilies live a long time? Same deal with this, and this is also about the size of the daylilies, and we've got them coming up also.
Which we are so excited. They're such a rare find when it comes to daylilies, and you're gonna love the color schemes. Please be reminded, it's a 3-piece collection. The Red Riding Hood Penstemon collection, $34.40. Now, your shipping and handling is going to be included with everything that you decide to reserve today in the show. But stay on the line for that one, of course, because it sold out last April. We'd love to have you have this in your garden coming up for 2015.
And there's my favorite fertilizer. Listen, this has been top rated for 10 years. This is our Bud and Flower Booster. Great for everything, including your house plants. 100 gallons worth, no mess, no fuss, no measuring, nothing but results.
Love that.
Love it.
Hey, coming up later on in the show, I want to let you know about something that is also extremely limited. There's only about 200 of the 4-piece Enchanting Wave Velour Petunia Medley available to you. It's brand new this month, $36.12 with your shipping and handling included. And of course, first quantities of the season. We don't know if we'll be able to get them back, of course, but I mean, petunias, that color that feel like velvet, sign me up, Philip.
They're just incredible. I designed that collection.
That's so awesome.
I did. We'll talk about it.
I can't wait to see that. And it's so cool having Philip here because it's, he knows where everything has come from. And speaking of something really special.
So excited about this.
Brand new today. It's our 3-piece Miracle Hudson Rose collection, $42, and that includes your shipping and handling.